During the Middle Ages in the city of Novgorod, which is now in the Russian Federation, we know of the existence of a widespread practice of writing using what is called birch bark manuscripts. There was and still is a vast birchwood forest around the city, and many used the bark of this tree to write stuff down. Due to this, the city had an unusually high literacy rate for the Middle Ages, and a lot of these documents have been uncovered over the years. Some were random letters, some were boring receipts. Hell, there was this one marriage proposal there somewhere. But I would like to talk about a very specific set of these birch bark documents. The ones that were seemingly written, or rather drawn, but we'll get back to that later, by a little kid. Onfim was a little Russian kid born around the 13th century in the city of Novgorod. To give you an idea of what kind of kid he was, this was his schoolwork. Up there is his actual homework, the first few letters of the Cyrillic alphabet, and down there is when he got bored of doing his homework and started to draw himself slaying his enemies atop a horse. Kid also drew this. The drawing seems to be him battling some sort of eldritch abomination, with the text above loudly proclaiming, Lord help your servant Onfim. Although another cuter theory is that it's supposed to depict him and his friends playing hide and seek, with the eldritch abomination supposed to be a kid hiding behind a tree. If you can't tell, the kid really, really loved scenes of battle. You knew someone like Onfim when you were like 10. Hell, you might have been like him. You know the kid who was weirdly into battles and war and whatnot and would pretend to be a warrior or a knight? Yeah, that was Onfim. In this drawing of his, it depicts some sort of creature proudly proclaiming, I am a beast. But that isn't what I personally find interesting. Down here is another piece of text saying, Greetings from Onfim to Daniel. This implies that the drawing was meant for another kid he knew named Daniel. Perhaps Daniel was a close friend of Onfim, and it's highly likely that they shared the same interests. Perhaps they were lifelong friends long after their childhood. We can't really tell because this is kinda all we know about him. He disappears from the historical record after his little drawings as a kid. I would like to think that he became the knight he always wanted to be in his drawings. The brave warrior he always imagined himself in his little scribbles as a kid. Or maybe he became an artist. Perhaps he painted on the walls of a Russian Orthodox church, or in a manuscript. He had plenty of practice in his younger years. Kinda weird how our collective image of him was that of a kid. Yet, just like all people at the time, he lived and he loved and he grew old. And he died at some point. It happened like 750-ish years ago. Okay, yeah, anyway, that's it. See ya.